I think meron natang sinabi si Chanel. she had this quote na parang, a woman is who changes her hair is about to change her life. So,
Okay. Hey everyone, this is Maine Manalansan Veneracion, an all-around creative.
and Kevin Veneracion, a mental health professional.
Welcome to Therapop.
A conversation podcast where we therapize your favorite pop culture characters.
Okay, we are recording. Hi. Anyway, so welcome to Therapop. Therapop meaning therapy plus pop culture. And for this episode, we are actually discussing one of the most iconic Filipino films of all time, which is...
Forevermore.
Correct. Hi. Also correct, but we'll get there eventually. But for now, since it's almost February and we need to be mindful for all of our friends who are struggling,
who are not, who are still waiting.
Yes, waiting for the one, or maybe they are in a relationship that they are not very happy with. And,
I think it's also for those naman na hindi broken-hearted. I mean, there's a lot of lessons to learn naman from this movie that we're gonna review in a while.
Okay.
Which is...
One More Chance! Woo! Okay, so One More Chance, it was released in 2007, directed by Cathy Garcia Molina and starring, of course, John Lloyd Cruz and Bea Alonzo. It's an instant classic kasi, I mean, obviously, it's John Lloyd and Bea. But also maybe because of hugot culture. Or I don't know if this started hugot culture, actually.
Actually, I wasn't sure about it. Initially, akala ko siya yung start. And then, I went on Google to check kung kailan ba daw nag-start. Well, a lot of, I guess, articles in Google say na 2010s daw yung hugot. It's been a decade or so. So, technically, when it came out, hindi pa daw uso yung hugot na culture. But then, I guess what's remarkable about One More Chance is, even years later, it still gathered the following. Even for, first-time viewers years later.
Yeah.
So, eventually, naging part rin talaga siya ng hugot culture.
Which brings us to people dealing with their emotions in a bad way. That's the segue. So, going back to One More Chance, do we start by explaining the plot? The plot is simple naman eh.
Does anybody not know the plot?
Maybe the young people. But basically, a couple in a 5-year relationship broke up. Basta starring Popoy and Basha. And they have their problems, just like all couples. But then Basha realized that she needs space to grow away from Popoy, so they broke up, and then etc. etc.
Okay, so let's talk about the early pre-breakup. Like, how was that relationship like for them?
Yeah.
What strikes you about it?
Well, Popoy is controlling. That is the number one thing in my notes. I think yun yung main problem niya for me.
Yeah.
Na he is controlling as fuck.
Yeah, that famous
The chicken
skin.
joy.
Chicken
The
skin
chicken,
scene.
sorry, not sponsored by John, but like the chicken skin na parang what happened? They're working in the same company,
Yeah.
and I think this happened after they were about to submit like a plan of a house, and then
where Popoy intervened na naman.
Popoy made changes without Basha knowing or approving of the changes. Tapos sinasabi lang ni Popoy na, di ba, team tayo? Parang gano'n.
Yeah.
So, parang jirits na si Bea by lunchtime. And then, nangyari yung chicken skin scene.
Do you have any other thoughts on how Popoy was early on?
Yeah, I mean, aside from he basically showed how controlling he is nung sa chicken skin scene, but also parang he thinks of the two of them as a unit, or parang my dreams are your dreams. Pero hindi ko alam kung ano ba talaga yung dream mo, basta ito yung feel ko okay sa atin because we are in a relationship together and we are planning for our future together.
So basically, siya nagdi-dictate for the both of them, right?
Yeah.
Pero before we go to Bea with Basha kay Popoy, may marami naman akong kaibigan, and maybe even myself at a younger age, na ganun, na seloso, very controlling. I wonder though, kasi again, if we're gonna go from, I guess from a psychological point of view, bakit nga ba ganun si Popoy? Or I guess a lot of men in general. Aside from yung nabanggit ko na parang yun naman yung kasi yung parang stereotypical role ng lalaki na nakikita nila sa buhay nila growing up. Maybe si dad yung head of the family, si dad yung nagde-decide
na
lagi.
controlling?
No, he makes all the decisions.
Yeah.
Di ba ganun naman sa Filipino family? Dad makes the decisions.
Right.
Ganon. Aside from that, ito medyo assumption to, pero you notice how we never saw Popoy's dad in the movie.
I actually don't remember.
We only saw yung mom niya at saka si Lauren Yang, yung sister
The
niya.
sister. Hi,
So shout out kay Lauren Yang. Lauren, I've heard so much about you. So, di ba, it was just the sister, the mom, and yung parang tito-tita.
Yeah.
So which makes me wonder, nasaan ang tatay ni Popoy? Right? And this is an assumption, but given na out of the picture yung dad, assume natin, for whatever reason, maybe naghiwalay sila ng nanay, he wasn't a good father, namatay ng maaga. But anyway, Popoy lost his dad at some point. Now, for a lot of people who went through loss sa mga relationships nila, especially at a young age, they grow up to become adults na meron talaga silang fear of being abandoned again. And sometimes that fear of being abandoned, it can manifest as controlling behavior. Basically, sa sobrang takot mo na iiwan ka ulit, you try so much to control that relationship. You become like Popoy, very restrictive, micromanaging.
Yeah.
No, kasi underneath that is yung unhealthy fear. The funny thing about that though is the more you try to control your partner, the more you try to do behaviors to cling to them, in the end you're actually pushing them away. Kasi those behaviors na being very clingy, being very controlling, eventually it makes you stuck in this loop. For example, ang inisip ko is ayokong maiwan, or I'm scared to be abandoned. So I become very clingy, become very controlling. And then one day, which is bound to happen, your partner will do something that will make you feel abandoned. No? It's bound to happen na magkakaroon ka ng parang perceived abandonment. And then mako-confirm yung core belief mo.
Which is different from like actually being abandoned. Yeah. You just feel like...
Yeah, kasi ganun naman talaga sa relationships di ba? Na parang it's not all smooth sailing.
Right.
So, with that in the background na may fear ka na ng ganun, naging clingy ka, naging pushy ka, naging controlling ka, may nangyaring perceived abandonment, na-confirm mo sa sarili mo na, sabi ko nga ba, iiwan ako. And then you become more clingy pa, which actually pushes them away more. So you get stuck in that cycle. Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's a good hypothesis, since we actually don't know naman.
Yeah, we don't know what happened sa early relationships si Popoy.
I think we can safely say that it happens to some people. Talaga. So, I don't know. For me, I think it's true kasi I've like personal experience from previous relationships. I can confirm that this is real.
Sige. Before we move, I guess one thing lang I wanna add to that is this is actually one of my favorite developmental theories. It's called attachment theory.
It's science. Okay.
It's not naman. It's not science kasi wala namang hard evidence for this. Okay. These are all theories ng mga psychologists, no? Pero they have what you call attachment theory, where they say in the first few years of your life, the kind of relationship you form with your primary caregiver, which most times happens to be your mom.
Parent.
Or your mom usually, di ba?
Your mom.
Pwede rin dad kung siya naman talagang primary caregiver mo. Pero the nature of that relationship will actually form the template for all your future relationships growing up. So, there are different types of attachment. There's secure attachment. So, secure attachment basically, dahil tama yung enough yung, I guess what we call good enough mothering yung ginawa for you. There are insecure attachments that are based from unhealthy, I guess, pagpapalaki sa kanila. So, meron kayong tinatawag na parang insecure avoidant, which is basically toddlers na ni-neglect ng parents nila. And then there's insecure ambivalent, which is from inconsistent parenting. And finally, I won't dive into this too much, pero there's what you call disorganized. Basically, ito yung a lot of these kids are yung mga kids na na-traumatize. Yun yung mga types of attachment that kaya very important yung early childhood relationships. Kaya again, I guess lesson here is very important yung
Take care
early
of your
relationships. Yeah. Take care of your kids. Have a healthy relationship with them. Kasi dadalhin nila yan habang buhay.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Well, I mean, thank you for that explanation and thank you for reminding us, like me, the both of us, to be good parents.
Yeah.
So, si Basha naman.
Sige, what can we say about Basha?
Well, Basha, basically, she was the one who initiated the breakup kasi nga, nasasakal na siya. And, like, being with Popoy, who was very controlling, parang wala siyang space to grow. And from my understanding, like, doing the math, they started in college.
To UST.
In UST. In UST. So, let's assume na they got together.
Hey, you know why UST?
Huh?
You know why UST?
No.
Kasi sila daw yung magaling talaga sa Archie at saka sa
Yeah.
engineering.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. That's true. So, let's assume na they were together third year.
Third year.
Ewan ko. Or fourth year. Tapos they've been together for 5 years. So, they're pretty, like, early pa in their career.
Yeah, early to mid-20s siguro.
Yeah, early to mid.
Early 20s siguro.
Early 20s, for sure. And at that point kasi in your life, parang you're still kind of figuring out what you want to do or what career you really want to pursue. And I think it's common naman for people na they pursue a career that na hindi yun yung college degree nila.
AKU?
AKA me. So, but like Basha, siguro, like, now that she experienced working in a firm, an architecture firm, let's say, tapos na-realize niya na hindi pala yun yung para sa kanya. Tapos gusto niya nang umalis. But Popoy has a singular dream for the both of them. Nakakasakal talaga kasi you feel like, you know, you can't follow your dreams because I'm with this person. And Popoy doesn't know how to accept.
Without naming names, personal experience ba to? Hindi naman.
No naman.
Hindi naman.
I'm a very independent person when it comes to my career. I don't
That's
let
good.
anyone tell me what to do. Anyway, I noted this line. Okay, ito yung sinabi ni Basha. Alam mo yung pakiramdam na parang walang Basha kung walang Popoy. Gusto ko magkaroon ng buhay, gusto ko magkaroon ng trabaho na alam ko kung ano ang halaga ko. I want to do things on my own, hindi dahil sa tingin mo yun ang makakabuti sa ating dalawa, pero hindi ko magagawa yun kung nakaplano na lahat. Kasi nga, like, I guess when they entered this firm, they were dreaming of building a life together already. But since nagiging blurry na yung picture of a life together kay Basha, parang ayaw na rin yan.
Which I think goes back to the question kasi kailan nga ba sila nag-umpisa sa relationship nila? Kasi if they started early, it also depends kasi I guess psychologically kung buo na ba yung sense of identity nila at that point. So I'm gonna segue into again one of my favorite theories also maliban sa attachment theory. It's called psychosocial stages. The guy behind this is the psychologist behind this is his name is Erik Erikson. So basically what Erik Erikson says na at each life stage daw as we grow older, there's an unfolding of I guess the virtues or strengths or values that we need to sort of develop as we go along. So we're gonna go straight to adolescence. Adolescence, which is until 21 years old, 13 to 21. Ang versus mo dun is identity versus role confusion. So basically, it's a normal thing for teenagers not to have a formed identity yet, a self-identity yet.
Yeah.
It's really the time for teenagers to look for that identity or to form that identity within themselves. Therefore, ang daming exploration na nangyayari. Cliques, friendships, interests, hobbies, experimenting with drugs, with substances. Ang dami, di ba? It's a time of exploration because psychodynamically, that's really what adolescence is. You're looking for that sense of identity as you break away from your home and you fit into a larger society. Right? So, do you notice na when you have relationships in high school or I think college sa atin is pasok pa rin sa 16 to 20 years old?
Yes.
Right? Sa before, hindi pa K-12. Pasok ng college. So, pasok ka pa dun sa adolescence period. Do you notice na relationships in high school and college, a lot of it is konting mistake lang, grabe magtampo.
Oh my God, yes.
Diba?
Ang haba na nung text na bigla.
Konting away lang, parang lungkot na.
Yeah.
So if you look at it from the psychosocial stages, it's because hindi pa nga ganun kabuo yung sense of identity mo. Therefore, being somebody's boyfriend or girlfriend
is like your main...
is still a large part of who you think you are.
Yes.
It's still a big part of your identity kasi hindi pa nga siya buo. Diba? So every time there's a sense of, again, abandonment in that relationship, it really feels like a part of you is missing.
Mm-hmm.
Kasi nga, ganun talaga at that stage na it is a part of you, that relationship. So, again, Eric Erickson is saying na kailangan mabuo mo yung identity versus yung identity mo at that age. Kasi when you move to the next stage, which is 21 until 40, which is young adulthood, ang versus mo na dun is intimacy versus isolation. So basically, forming relationships. Forming romantic relationships, looking for a romantic partner, an intimate partner. Sinasabi ni Eric Erickson, kailangan sequential yung pag-go through mo sa stages.
Why?
Kasi imagine mo kung hindi mo nabuo yung sense of self-identity mo sa adolescence at tumalon ka na dun sa forming intimate relationships. Then you're gonna go into relationships na sobrang big part ng identity mo, yung partner mo. Kasi hindi mo nabuo by yourself eh. So every time mag-away kayo, just like what happened with Popoy and Basha, I guess early on in the relationship, napaka-extreme, napaka-intense nung feeling.
Right.
Kaya very interesting for me sa One More Chance na nung nakipag-break si Basha, dahil ganun yung relationship nila, very magulo.
Yeah.
She wanted to look for herself
so,
first.
So parang siya, like nasa identity versus
she's still looking for identity.
Fusion.
Which is, part of that is occupational. Like, what do I want to do for work? Diba? Malaking crisis in for Basha. So, from that alone, nakita mo na hindi pa niya nahahanap yung sarili niya. Hindi pa niya na-perform yung sarili niya. That's why when she moved away from Popoy, and then later on, nabuo niya yung career niya, it was just only then that she was ready to be in a relationship again.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes sense.
Okay, so after the breakup, people cope in different ways.
Mm-hmm.
Popoy decided to become an internet icon and created a meme accidentally.
Why is that meme so sikat? Yung umiyak siya sa may wall.
Naka-duck face siya while crying. Anyway, I think it's funny because it's John Lloyd. And then si Basha naman, nagpagupit si Te. Like, is this required?
Post-breakup?
Yeah, why do people do this?
I don't think naman it's limited to post-breakups, no? But just the fact na may binago ka visibly, externally, I think it's like symbolism ng pagbabago inside. Kasi hindi mo naman nakikita yung pagbabago inside eh. So, whether it's a new perspective, a new disposition in life, I think is the power of symbolism.
Or it's also a signal to other people na I'm going through something. I have bangs. I'm going through something.
Grabe, hindi naman. I don't think that's something you wanna advertise or broadcast.
No, I mean, why not? Kasi maybe that's your way of asking people to be supportive of your new journey.
Sige, pwede naman. Ako personally, when it comes to hair, it's very parang it's very visible, and traditionally it's always been psychologically it's always been part of someone's self-esteem and confidence. And a lot of people correlate confidence with being in control. And
Popoy.
And changing your hair, altering your hair is probably a way for Basha to remind herself na she can still be in control of her life. Right. Especially when so many aspects of her life are out of her control dahil nga sa pinagdaanan niya with Popoy.
Mm-hmm.
So I think there's a catharsis to that. There's like a release of emotions. Emotions na matagal na niyang kinimkim.
Yeah, and it's something temporary then, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it's empowering. I think it's empowering. And I think mayroon natang sinabi si Chanel.
Coco Chanel.
Yeah.
I don't know why you put Coco Chanel in the notes. I don't even know what she said.
No, kasi she had this quote na parang a woman is who changes her hair is about to change her life. So
okay. Nabasa mo to sa t-shirt. Like an H&M or something.
Anyway, I think
I can't believe you know that quote.
so yun lang. Totoo naman, true naman. So it's
Not limited to women
I
only.
mean, yeah. But I mean, it's not. It's symbolism and cathartic.
Okay. So after that, she focused on her passion na, which is, I think, making shirts. It started with making shirts, and then eventually, parang she also joined another firm. Anyway, so Basha thrived, essentially, got a new job, unfortunately, with Derek Ramsey lang. And then, since she's like glowing, people thought na she's in a relationship with Derek Ramsey, but hindi naman. So, I think another hard thing to navigate about their breakup is they've been together for a while. So, kilala na nila yung families nila. Plus, they are already thinking about getting married. So, even the people around them already have that in mind. And magkabarkada pa sila. So, actually, there was one scene na Popoy was asked to fix something in Basha's house.
Sa bathroom.
Tinawagan siya ng mom ni Basha, knowing that break na sila. And for me, parang, oh my God, that is so awkward. And yung thinking ko is, like, Bea's hurting, and for sure, she doesn't want to see Popoy around. So why did the mom call Popoy to do it?
Well, I think the surface answer there is parang umaasa pa ba yung family na magkabalikan sila. I think that's the obvious answer there. Ako personally, I think na it's because sa ganung katagal na relationship, 5 years, it's bound to happen na magkakaroon na rin ng relationship yung pamilya dun sa partner, dun sa boyfriend, for example, that is separate from your boyfriend-girlfriend relationship. Naging kaibigan sila, naging close sila. So just because nag-break kayo boyfriend-girlfriend, it doesn't mean nawawala yung relationship nila. For example, kung sanay sila, they lean on Popoy for practical help, andun pa rin yun. It's just a matter of the family having a conversation with Basha na parang okay ka ba kung from time to time dadaan si Popoy dito to help me with this thing.
I don't think they had that conversation.
Yun yung mali doon. Pero for me lang, I think in long-term relationships na nag-break, you can't take away the fact na naging part na rin ng buhay ng pamilya yung taong brinikan mo or nakipag-break sa'yo. So may separate relationship na doon.
Yeah.
So, yun lang. I think people just have to be mature about it na ganun talaga. I mean,
yeah. And like, I think on my end naman, if you're in that same situation, don't think na just because they have a relationship with the ex, it doesn't mean that they don't like you.
yeah.
Kasi at the end of the day, yun nga, the families or friends, they're still separate people eh. It's not like you're in a relationship as a unit talaga. And yeah, I mean, you're like, magkaiba talaga siya. So
I think parang it's just a reminder na even if it feels like it, not everything has something to do with you.
yeah.
So relationships exist outside of yung circle mo.
Yeah, it's just really uncomfortable at first.
Yeah, gets naman.
So,
I think that's natural naman. Gets naman.
Oo.
Kaya yun, as if you were like a decent partner, just make sure na comfortable yung new partner mo and you guys have an honest talk about it.
Oh. Anyway, so to just conclude this discussion, I'll share muna my learning para okay yung ending. Kasi yung learning ko dito is walang redeeming factor si Popoy. I don't wanna be in a relationship with Popoy. That is my learning. Kahit sabihin natin na naka-recover siya, I don't know. I don't trust it. I don't trust him. And I think ito yung sinasabi ng mga friends ko na ayaw na nila magpalaki ng big boys emotionally. Parang gusto nila na emotionally mature na and you don't have a lot of things to deal with na mabigat. And well, not everyone's as lucky as me, I guess. So I guess the tip is very psychiatrist. Yun lang talaga. No, I mean, like, I get what they're saying, but I also tell them na maybe there are some things na excusable naman. Because everyone's dealing with shit. But not as heavy as Popoy, because I really cannot stand it controlling yung jowa ko.
Okay, fair point naman.
Yeah. But, I mean, good for him. He was able to find himself at the end of the day. But it also harmed people along the way. Yeah.
Alright.
And then, sorry, my final lesson is, I guess if I can talk to my old self, is don't take high school or college relationships way too seriously. I mean, good for the people who started out in college or high school, tapos they got married and they're fine pa. But like as you mentioned nga, that's the time na you're still discovering your self-identity, and most of the time, hindi pa talaga fully formed. So, just, if you have a relationship during that time, just think of it as magkabarkada lang kayo, and don't latch on too much. Don't cling on too much as if, like, hindi ka mabubuhay without the other person. Kasi, you know, if it doesn't last, then it's just gonna be way too hurtful for you. Yeah. Okay, Cal. End it nicely.
Sige, for me, kasi diba the way naman na romance is portrayed in Filipino movies, shows, songs, etc. Diba it's very, well, I guess, na-ingrain sa minds ng ating youth and general public na love is something that's very rare to find. True naman, pero the way nga na it's portrayed to us at a young age is something very rare to find. Tuloy ang nangyayari. People who find themselves in unhealthy relationships, parang they're so scared of not finding, you know, a relationship anymore to replace that, or not finding love anymore in the future, that they tend to settle or get stuck in those unhealthy relationships in the first place. And then it leads to a cycle of, you know, people not getting people not being treated the way they need to be treated, being in abusive, unhealthy relationships. So I think at the end of the day, what I just want to say is, there's a reason why they say you need to love yourself first. Kasi pag buo na yung identity mo sa sarili mo, then you'll be healthy enough to, you know, leave relationships that aren't good for you anymore. And that's exactly what Basha did. Nung nahanap niya sarili niya, secure enough na talaga siya to be in a relationship, whether it's gonna work out or not. So yun for me yung biggest lesson dito.
Siri, play Love Yourself by Justin Bieber. which is
Cue the song.
apparently not about loving yourself.
So yan. So that actually wraps up our very first episode here on Therapop.
Technically, this is episode 2.
Sorry, episode 2. On Therapop, the first movie we did.
One more chance.
So, what's for next time?
For next episode, we are doing Juno. So, all about teenage pregnancy. It's gonna be a very awkward topic.
I think we're doing teenage pregnancy and adoption, and how mental health for both pregnancy and adoption, how it comes into play.
Yes. And when is the right time to have sex?
Yeah. And what are the implications of mental health wise of being adopted? I think that's also one of the things we're gonna discuss. So guys, feel free to join us next time. Again, I'm Kevin.
And I'm Maine. See you next week. Bye bye.
Bye bye.